Yes.
Hello. Good morning, everybody. This is Wednesday, December 14th, 2022. And we're going to start off with the roll call. Members, myself, Alex Zacharias, Chuck Yang.
Here.
Alderman Brian Johnson. Kent Hutchinson.
Present.
And Katie Reeves. All right. Next is our liaison representatives, Beth Kowalski, Gabrielle Nataxon, Rissel Figueroa Almonte, and Timothy Perlis.
Here, present.
Oh, thank you, Timothy. Approval of the minutes for December 14, 2022. Approval of the minutes from the August 24th, 2022 meeting of the Green Bay Public Arts.
Excuse me, Alex, I think you need, it's the approval of the agenda first.
Oh, approval, sorry. Approval of the agenda. Motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay. All those approved?
Aye.
Aye.
All those against? Okay. So now you can move on to the next one, then the agenda approval of the minutes from August 24th, 2022. Can we get a motion?
Motion to approve.
And Katie,
Second. All right, all those that approve?
Aye.
Aye.
Perfect.
and Katie is not here, so.
So moved. Regular business. Election of the chair, vice chair of the Green Bay Public Arts Commission. Laura, can you fill us in a little bit about this?
Yeah, so we normally elect our chair and vice chair annually in October. There were a few things that came up, so we didn't have our meeting in October. So now we are going to be electing our chair and vice chair for the next year. To give a little bit of a spiel on the position, chair runs the meeting. They assist with approving the agenda, helping me kind of set up the agenda if they have items that they'd like to bring forward to the commission. We work together on that. Not a super time-sensitive or time-intensive position, but you are kind of running the show during the meetings. And vice chair is a backup in the instance that chair is not able to attend the meeting, so they will be the one that runs the meeting and goes through all the Robert's Rules of Order and all of that. So only commissioners are eligible to be in this position. So, did you want to run elections as far as?
I can run elections for the chair.
Okay.
Are there any nominations for the chair?
I'd like to nominate Katie Reeves for chair.
I'll accept that. Oh wait, it has to be seconded, doesn't it?
I second it.
Thank you, Kent. I will accept that nomination.
Cool, are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Excellent, so the motion would be to elect Katie as the chair of the PAC. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried. So I think then you take over the meeting.
Oh boy, right now.
So I'm gonna get you here.
Okay.
I'm gonna get you an agenda.
All right, so, and then who do we elect a vice chair, or how does that work?
Yep, that's the
Yep.
next one.
So it'll be the same thing.
Okay.
We'll have to announce it 3 times.
Sure.
After taking any nominations.
Any motions for vice chair of the Green Bay?
You're done with the gig, Alex. You're done.
Oh,
Any nominations for vice chair?
who's vice chair?
Any nominations? That's
Oh.
what we're calling
All
for.
right. Kent
Second,
Hutchinson for vice chair.
seconded.
Aye.
He has to accept the nomination.
We have to request it 3 times.
Oh,
Did
okay.
you request it 3 times?
Are there any nominations for vice chair? That's the 3rd time. Okay, so we've heard one from
Oh.
Alex and seconded.
Yep.
Any other nominations for vice chair? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Opposed, say nay. And the ayes have it.
Who's the vice chair?
So Katie Reeves and Ken Hutchinson's have been approved. All right.
You're amazing. Thank you for your stint.
How about, so, do we keep moving on, consideration,
So, Alex, I
Alex, you're done. It's Katie's now.
think. But,
oh, that's right, is Katie here?
Yeah,
Yes.
I came in late, Alex, my apologies.
Katie and Alder Johnson are here.
Okay,
Oh, all right, I'll be quiet, thank you.
all right, so our next item of regular business is consideration of possible action to approve the TDS utility box call for art. Laura, can I turn it to you?
Absolutely. So during the March 9th, 2022 meeting of the Parks Commission, they had approved on installing several above-ground utility boxes through 4 of their parks. As a condition of that, they had also requested that TDS beautify these boxes that they're installing in the parks. Thankfully, TDS has agreed to pay for the installation and fabrication of that vinyl, as well as the artist stipend for beautifying those boxes in the parks. So from there, staff has developed this draft call that's in the agenda. I believe it is on page, all my pages are out of order, but it's in the agenda. I'm thinking page 8 is in there. From the call, basically the highlights of the call is that we would leave this open for 2 months. It's open to Wisconsin-based artists, and it's open to artists of any medium, whether that's painting, drawing, ceramics, mosaics, or collage, or anything like that. We want this to be as open to all types of mediums, not just painters, which would typically be found. So that's the benefit of doing vinyl. Submissions that we're asking from artists include a cover letter, image list, and up to 5 artwork designs. And then from there, after the call closes at the 2-month period, staff would go through those submissions, narrow down, and then bring those recommendations to the PAC for approval. Following that, we're looking at kind of an installation time of late spring, early summer, because after you guys approve the artwork in March, from there, I'll be working with the artist and the printing company to make sure that their artwork images are compatible to what their printing needs are. And then, yeah, installation in late spring, early summer. Are there any initial questions on the call or anything else?
Yeah, I read through the call last night and I saw that you note helpfully that some of the vents and things, thank you, would not be wrapped. And it looked like most of the sample images were entirely wrapped. Do you know specifically, like, is it anything that sticks out? Because for me, that would be really helpful in terms of how I designed it.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure
Okay.
as far as the specifics of it. That's why the template that's in there, it's really loose.
Yeah.
I was like,
Mhm.
here's some squares.
Yeah, okay.
And fill them out. We assisted with Military Avenue on wrapping some utility, not quite like this shape, but similar in the fact that they had all sorts of protrusions and vents and other things and doors and hinges that you needed to steer clear of. And they did a really good, the vinyl company did a really good job as far as kind of duplicating elements
Oh, okay.
to kind of cut and paste and fill in those areas as they needed. And I think I have that included in there too, that artists should kind of keep that in mind, that
You did.
designs are going to need to be cut up or kind of pieced here and there to wrap that box.
Okay, great.
Do we know when these boxes are getting installed?
I'm not entirely sure on that, but that's.
I was just saying, like, if they're installed, then artists can go and actually look at it and say,
Yeah.
oh, my design won't work, I gotta change it.
That's just it, and it would be incredibly helpful, but there's a lot of weird
It
things
looks like
going
that
on.
picture, there's a lot of obstructions and obtrusion.
Yeah, and I guess that's one of the pros to having artists paint directly on the
Mhm.
boxes. But I'm in favor of going the vinyl route just because it does open it up to all those different artists.
Mhm.
If you're a quilter or something. You can't put a quilt on a utility box, but you can photograph your work and then have it printed in vinyl to install. And just with the nature of some of these elements that shouldn't be covered, not saying that artists are gonna be messy or anything like that, but vinyl precision, they can cut and make sure that they're not covering any of those necessary elements.
Great. I have one more question about the image rights. Is that in perpetuity, or is it a one-time sort of thing?
As far as using the image, or
Yeah, the licensing fee, like are they licensed for this one thing, or?
it's licensed for the one project. And then as far as promotional materials or anything like that, but the
Yeah.
artist maintains the copyright and
Great.
and everything.
Well,
So I have a question.
Yeah,
So, you had mentioned that the broader, applications would be narrowed down. Who would be the agency who's narrowing down the applications?
it would be city staff, most likely a combination of this department and Parks Department.
Okay, is that because you feel like there's gonna be like a lot of applications, or?
In the past, when we've done digital calls or calling for digital artwork, we've received a high amount of submissions. And we've been able to process those in meetings in the past, but I do know that it's been a bit time intensive and a bit clunky. So I think in the interest of using your time wisely, we could present like a top 10, and out of the top 10, if you'd want to narrow it down, if that seems more appealing.
Well, and I think if anyone, like from the PAC, would want to work on that with staff, you know, we couldn't have a quorum of the PAC, but, you know, Kent, if you wanted to sit in, or Alex, or any of you, you know, it just, you have to put the time in then. on the front end.
Yeah, I think that would make sense, to have someone from the PAC attend that, and just so, I don't know, there's just a little bit more, I don't know, continuity between that phase and this phase. Is, like, what type of criterion, is it just like, oh, that was not good enough kind of thing, or?
We most likely would base it off of previous criteria that we've used, kind of like for our bus shelter project. Is it basically the main one is it acceptable for the general public?
Okay.
We haven't set any theme. I know that's something that we've kind of done for previous projects too, as far as, hey, we want something that's focused on Green Bay and the environment and other things. We don't have a theme set for this. It's kind of anything goes.
Do we want to get neighborhood associations and maybe their thoughts on it, considering that these are parks within their areas? Just an idea.
As far as
Kind of like how.
having them in the selection process?
Yeah,
or-
kind of like how we did it with the rotating art
Rotating
program.
arts, yeah, when you brought it back to the PAC, I think you invited the neighborhood associations
Yep.
where you were placing the art.
they could request favorites, but.
Yeah,
Yeah, they could request a favorite, but the PAC still decided where
yeah,
it went.
Yeah.
yeah, but at least gives them a
Mhm.
chance to voice their opinion, especially since this will be in the parks within their neighborhoods.
I think we absolutely could do that. We could have, once we receive all the submissions, we can share them with the neighborhood associations. Say, hey, these are everything that we've received. Do you have kind of a top 5 out of these that you would be interested in having? And like what we do with rotating art, not necessarily that we can guarantee that you'll get these, but it will definitely go into consideration when decisions are being made.
Yep.
Yeah, we can include.
I think it sounds great, and the one concern that I have is that, this narrowing down of applications, it's not like value judgments as far as the art is considered, but if something's like definitely, you know, inappropriate or something like that, that the city can call out, then, you know, then those applications can be set aside, but like, you know, the PAC is here to really, you know, provide that value judgment. You know, so it just kind of protects the city, but it also, I think, I don't know, holds all those applications at the same standard.
Kent, could I speak to that? And Laura, I'm going to propose something that would be work on your end. But I'm wondering if maybe we could rank them ahead of time so everyone gets them and just maybe in a Google form goes through and is like, based on this rubric, originality, appropriateness, whatever, it's a 5, it's a 1. And then whatever rises to the top we could evaluate, or you all could evaluate from those to get down to 10, or, I guess the question is, is it permissible to do kind of committee work outside of scheduled meeting times?
As long as you aren't all meeting together to discuss and like, oh, I really like
Yeah,
Joe's piece, let's
Make sure the lobster gets a,
Yeah, as long as you aren't doing that, no, we can have you, I can send the rubrics out ahead of time, have you review them, and then, yeah, from the scores that I receive, we can kind of review through staff, select the top 10 or whatever, top 8, if we're doing 4, half or double whatever we're actually installing, and then bring those back to the PAC.
One question I have is, because this is on Parks properties, and this was something that Parks had requested, what's the directions from Parks, I guess, in regards to this, on how involved do they want to be? Or are they leaving it all up to the PAC? Or are they going to say, hey, this is our park, so we also need to say, hey, this is what we want on our parks?
Parks is basically entrusted PAC to make those decisions.
Okay.
But as far as if we're gonna have you reviewing ahead of time, we would most likely send that same
Okay.
same
That way
rubric
they're
out
involved
to
also.
park staff
Okay.
to be like, hey, here's Parks top 10, here's the PAC's top 10,
Okay.
now narrow down.
In fact, just to piggyback on that, I'm the one that made the request that this go on here.
Okay.
And it was Public Works that actually took the lead because of TDS being a public utility.
Okay.
So I think Parks was kind of like, yeah, whatever, and Steve actually, Director Grenier did the communicating with TDS to finalize, I guess, the
Okay.
commitment.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. I just figured it's on Parks property, so.
Well, but there'll be other boxes too that won't be on Parks property, that there may be an opportunity, if we rank these pieces, that we could add potentially, right?
Yes, and that was kind of I wanted to add on, is that there are more boxes that are going to be installed. Not necessarily all of them will be in Parks property, but potentially some of them could be in Public Works. But in that case, then we would go to Public Works and ask for their input
Yeah.
also.
Maybe take the INS route, an improvement service, whatever that is, yeah, however that would work, but yeah.
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we were just looking at it saying, hey, this is public property, right?
Yeah.
So if you're going to request an easement on public property and put in this big utility box that doesn't look nice,
Yep.
we're going to at least request that you make it look nice.
Mhm.
And that was kind of the intent behind it.
Okay.
Well, is the actual application staying the same? We reviewed that in the past, and it's nice because it was easy. So is that going to remain the same?
They just have to email me the materials that are listed in here. The cover letter, image list, and then up to
Right.
5 images. Oh, something that I didn't include in here, but I know we've kind of started incorporating it. I think in our rotating art program, we started incorporating having a preference for highlighting as many artists as possible. That way we're not just like, okay, I really like, I keep saying Joe. I really like Joe's piece. Let's put all Joe's work up. Do we want to include something in here as a edit saying that there will be preference on showcasing as many artists as possible?
I think that's in there, isn't it?
Do I have that in there?
Yeah,
Maybe
I
I
think you
did.
said that you can only be selected for one project.
Okay, maybe I did
I
already.
wonder about maybe preference will be given to underrepresented artists, which includes not only people who have not had work picked, but who are like statistically underrepresented.
I don't
Or
think
do
we
we run
can,
into,
I don't think we as the city can do that. We have to give it to everyone and anyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can get sticky.
We did have an encouragement, though,
We might have
that encouraged underrepresented artists in the past to other calls, though, haven't we?
yeah, honestly, I'm not sure how much that will matter. I think the real work could happen with us sharing it with those communities, so we'll just do that. I wonder, Laura, would it matter to you if the submitted artwork is under 1 megabyte? That's something I see, or like under 5. do you all have data limits that's going to run up against, since you're accepting 5 images and they're all high res?
Not that I know.
Okay.
Well, when they originally submit, they don't have to put them in
Okay.
the high-res versions. It's just if they're selected and then we actually need to start working with the vendor, then I'll need those high-res images. But for initial submissions, I don't think they are required to have them at that resolution.
Great. Any other questions, clarifications, concerns?
I'm just looking to verify, Laura, that I'm not leading you astray. I'm looking for that language.
With what language?
One project per artist.
Oh. I don't remember seeing that.
It's a color copy, so
Oh,
it's nice.
fancy, yeah, okay.
Thinking, was it perhaps not in the application, but in the
For what?
agenda report?
An applicant may only be selected once unless the city decides otherwise.
Where is that?
That is in eligibility.
Aha,
Okay.
thank you. There we go.
I just reread this thing like 3 times and I didn't,
Okay.
didn't find the thing I was looking
All
for.
right. Great. Then we have a motion to approve. Do we have to approve? Sorry. I'll read up on this before.
So consider it, so to
Okay.
approve the TDS utilities.
Motion to approve.
Seconded.
All right. So do we have to ask this 3 times?
Nope.
All right, so the motion has been seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say
Aye.
nay. And the ayes have it.
Yay.
Yeah, all right, great. And next we move to the coordinator's report and project updates.
Yes, so last time we met, we were getting ready to move forward with our Shipyard Underpass mural project. Unfortunately, I had a personal thing that took me away from work for a while, so that project got postponed, and we will be picking that back up in June of 2023. I'm excited that we'll be joining with On Broadway. And it'll be better weather in the summer, so all around, not the best way that we wanted to go about it, but we will be picking that back up with those 4 artists that we approved in June.
Are you doing it with the Maryland Busker Fest?
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
I've been talking
Great.
with Ally about it.
Yeah, I
so
figured.
surprise.
Yeah.
Also, ARPA requests have been held. Out of the ARPA requests, there are a number of arts requests that are in there, along with 2 that we have. One for our rotating art program to fund for 3 years, and actually expand the rotating art program to 10 sites. And then also renewing our annual grant program. So that will be going to finance in January. For anyone that's interested in attending that meeting, I can send you that information at that time if you would like to join.
Just a little tag onto that. I mean, there's, I think, over $8 million of outstanding requests and about $5 million left in remaining funding. Alders need to hear from people about what they value and what they prioritize. A decision that was made is previously, funding was allocated into separate buckets, and arts and tourism had their own bucket, and now everything is meshed into one bucket. So, if you want my honest opinion, I think art will be a secondary priority within that discussion. So it's important that if this group sees those things as important, which I think they do, it's important that members of City Council also understand that and hear that.
With regard to specific projects that we haven't discussed, or?
The proposals, the ARPA requests that have been
Okay.
proposed. So perhaps, Laura, you could share with the commission via email afterwards the project, the proposals that have been submitted for ARPA.
Absolutely. Because, yeah, there are a number of arts requests out there. Not just the ones that we have. Kent, did you want to say something?
No, but I think that's a great idea, Brian. Suggest that we should not only contact our own alders that are in our area, but maybe just if you happen to run into other alders, or just email or call them to get them aware specifically of the requests that you have. So if you could email us those requests specifically, Laura, I think that would help our cause.
And I think to add on to that, sharing that information with our partners and our other arts organizations that are out there that also can benefit from having their voices heard also. But yeah, I will share those out.
And I mean this sincerely, when we hear from people, it influences us, right? I'm not just paying that lip service. It's, you know, when you know that there is sort of an undercurrent of support for something, it matters.
Great. So do you have any other? Lastly, staff is also working on a mural process or a mural educational guide to kind of assist. Not quite sure what it's going to look like just yet. I spoke to Kent a little bit about it. The ultimate goal from this is to better educate artists. Muralists who have been doing it for a long time, they obviously know how they should be going about preparing a wall and how to go about commissioning a mural and everything else. But this guide is going to help artists that maybe they do watercolor and they're not exactly sure how to make that leap to that next level. So giving them information so that they can better go through that process, but then also giving information to business owners and property owners so that they have the same expectations in check. The goal of this is not to hinder artists through that process. It's not to make it more difficult to get a mural up in the community. It's really just to help better educate so that we have quality murals that aren't deteriorating quicker over time. And also just help us have a better handle on documenting those murals so that we can be a resource for the community so that, and other organizations can be a resource for the community to accurately display what mural we have, what the title is, who made it, when was it made, because our information is a little in flux right now. Great. So that will be coming to you most likely January, February. January might be a bit ambitious, but it'll be coming to you in the new year. Other than that, those are my updates.
Wonderful. Well, it looks like our next meeting is January 25th, so we'll look forward to seeing some of that or not. So there'll be other stuff, yeah. Do we call for motions from the floor or we just close that?
Motion to adjourn.
Seconded. All right, all in favor of early adjournment? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, there we go, the ayes have it. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Good to see you guys.